Hello Melanie, we're here with your first hive inspection for Queen Shirley. Um, so far, this is a box we put on last time we were up here, which was about 2 weeks ago. It looks like Queen Shirley's doing really well. We're also making splits today, which means we're going to try to expand the beehive a little, or bee yard a little bit. And looks like this hive is going to be a good candidate for doing some of that because there's a lot of bees in here. So Queen Shirley must be doing really well because since I just put this hive or this box on here last time, typically a lot of the other hives haven't had any bees in it, but she is going to town. Most of the time I could just take this box right off and we were all set, but I want to make sure she's not on one of these. So this looks like they're just mostly putting honey and nectar in it. So what the smoke does is that it does a couple things. First of all, bees communicate through scent, and by having the smoke in there, it disrupts their communication so they don't know what's going on as much, so you can do a little bit more work without their alarm pheromone causing problems, mainly stinging you. And the other thing it does is that they think their hive's on fire, so they will engorge themselves on honey to take to a new place. They think they got to take off and leave, so they fill up on honey for a new home. And when they have honey in their stomach, they're less apt to sting you, because once they sting you, they're dead. And that would just be a big waste of honey. Alright, so this frame here has eggs on it. And I don't think Jody could get a picture of them because this is a new wax on here. And they're barely visible. But that would mean the queen's probably somewhere close by. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the queen. Before I do anything else with splitting the hive, I got to find the queen, because if I try to split the hive and put a new queen in with the old queen, they'll just kill the new queen I bought. So this is capped root here. This is, as the bees develop, they'll spin a cocoon and then they'll seal it off with a capping for them to finish developing in. And there's also eggs on this frame too, so one of the other things we look for is how tight of a pattern. If you can see, there's almost every one of these cells is full with larvae in it, which means that she's doing really well. If you have a queen that's not so good, there'll be spots in between, but that doesn't seem to be a problem here. And Jody probably can get these. That's young larvae in there. Well, actually, these are drones up in this spot. A lot of times they'll build drones out on the outside here or on the bottom. And they'll usually get torn apart. But that's what they look like when they're developing. And it's actually a good opportunity for us to pull one out. The varroa mites like to eat they prefer the drones because they take longer to develop. So They'll tend to be in the drone comb more. I don't see any mites on those, so maybe we're a little bit more mite free. I'm having a hard time finding queens today. The last one took us a long time to find her. And we don't ever want to do that. Oh, there she is. So there's Queen Shirley. She's a pretty nice looking queen. You can see her right here. She's pretty long. So that's one of the reasons that this hive is doing so well, because she's a really nice big queen. We're planning on replacing most of these queens this year. We think that that might be part of the reason why we've had struggled so much, is that these queens that come in packages are not quite as good for the winter. But she is huge, so she might, and she's doing pretty well in here right now. So she might be one that we keep, because I think we'll keep a couple of them, but with a queen that big, I think we'll probably end up keeping her. So we're gonna call it good for your first hive inspection. They're looking really good, so we're gonna put this, we're gonna make a split with this, and then make a new hive. Actually, maybe make 2 new hives out of this one. So thanks a lot for adopting a hive, and we'll come back to you on your next inspection. Thanks.